What's up, everybody? Once again, it is I, James, coming to you from the Nerdy Mewzings Podcast studio. I am very excited to be joined today by Tyler, a.k.a. VenomBuster. How you doing today, Tyler?
Yo. I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Hanging out with
awesome
Cricket here.
You got a cat making dough in your lap. Life couldn't get much better than that. I love it.
Hell yeah.
That's my happy place too, surrounded by the cats. Even though you told me you're a little bit allergic, so you're kind of playing with fire right now, man.
A little bit, yeah.
It's funny. Cats usually seek out the person that's allergic or the person that says they don't like cats. It's like the first one the cat goes to.
yeah, it's a nightmare when my mom comes over.
I bet.
She's like, no, she's like freaked out by cats. I don't understand it, but
she's like,
yeah, it's so funny.
My wife's sister is very allergic, and if she comes over here, her throat starts closing up. She can only be here for like 20 minutes, and she's got to get out. Yeah, it's too bad. So we met through, well, I still call it Twitter, but AKA the artist formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, and we hit it off over there. You've been reposting my stuff. I've been reposting your stuff and liking and sharing and all that fun stuff. So now here we are. We get to chat. We get to learn about each other. So first off, how's your day going?
It's good, man. It's good. I'm thumbnailing my 10th page of my comic right now.
Nice.
I just printed the other 9 yesterday. I'm getting ready to ink them all traditionally. I definitely am like in the middle there.
You're that tradigital, as Dan Fraga calls it.
Yeah, I got the thumbnails actually pulled up over here so that I can work on it later today, and I'm gonna try and ink my first 10 before I move on and do the rest of them. And
awesome.
I have quite a bit of freedom here, so I'm kind of like get to do what I want.
I love that process. For me, I just feel that, especially in the thumbnailing process, you can get in there and so rapidly go through and get everything refined digitally and get your proportions right. All the stuff that, you would literally have to erase your page over and over.
Mm-hmm.
We can kind of refine it on there quickly. It looks like you're working on a Cintiq.
It is a XP pen, actually.
Cintiq adjacent device.
It is definitely adjacent. Yeah. They have new ones now that are like wireless. It's like basically an Android tablet. It's like $400. They look pretty nice. Yeah.
I've heard really good things, and it's crazy how much the prices on all those types of devices have come down. Because, gosh, probably still is, like a really nice big Cintiq is like upwards like over $3,000 or more, I believe.
Yeah. I remember it used to be really daunting. And I didn't start out on this. I just bought like the little, like one of the little, it was a Wacom tablet where you're like looking at the screen and
you have that disconnect in your brain.
God, yeah. It's so bad. I worked so much on paper and I just couldn't get used to it at first. I worked with another artist that helped me I used to stream a lot via Twitch. I actually, for a little while, I took a break from art, and I was, around COVID, I was doing professional fighting games, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and she was doing my emotes, but I couldn't do anything digital. So I would draw it on paper, and I would take a picture of it, and then she would basically digitize it, ink it, and color it, and send it back to me. And she was like, you should just try it. Just try it. And I was like, I was too scared. But eventually, I found it was like $40, like to get started. And I was already editing and stuff with the computer for production. And I said, I'll start drawing again. And
that's cool, man. Yeah, the digital disconnect it's definitely improved over the years, because I remember same thing, using those very old Wacom tablets at first and just never really fully getting used to drawing down here and seeing it on my monitor over here.
It's like with a mouse, know?
And then
it's just one step away.
From there, I upgraded to another Cintiq adjacent. So I'll pull it into view here. This is one of those Unova, Yinova, and it was like, about half the cost of a Cintiq at the time.
Yeah.
Which was like cool. They were kind of some of the first ones that were putting out devices that were comparable, that were way more affordable. The only downside about that thing is they quit making the driver about 15 years ago. So, quit supporting it. And so Windows, sometimes it'll just quit working and you got to finagle it.
That's a nightmare. Thank God this one's kind of new, but that would drive me insane. I would never let that go though. That's like,
no. And as long as it keeps working, it's like,
right.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. But speaking of the progression of the devices, have you dabbled at all with an iPad Pro yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I do have, strangely enough, I guess I'll just kind of show you here. But
please.
All of my audio on my computer is done through it's like an old iPad Mini.
You have a soundboard on your iPad Mini that you
yeah. And it's so like this is all of my entire soundboard, but like I can hit like this little button over here, and I have all my other like shortcuts and stuff for like games I'm playing right now. I don't really stream as much as I used to, but like you can work as like a Steam Deck or a Stream Deck, excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
I unfortunately can't draw on it. It's just a little too old.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say about that iPad Pro is, we've been talking. It sounds like we've gone through all the iterations. Wacom tablet, working our way up. The iPad Pro is the first device that I've drawn on that it feels the closest to actually drawing, where you have no parallax, no disconnect, no slight cursor offset from the pen when you're looking at the screen from a certain angle. So that's been pretty much a game changer as far as that goes for digital drawing. I highly recommend it as an investment, especially if you're a digital guy.
Yeah. I saw too that there's like it's almost like a sketchbook, but it looks like something where you would insert your paper, but on the outside it's like moleskin, but it's reading your pen input.
I saw that too. Yeah.
On the paper and transferring really cool. It on your phone and stuff. Yeah.
Funny enough about I want to say at least 15 years ago or more, Wacom came out with something like that. And I have it. I have it.
Oh, okay.
I forget the name of it, but essentially it was an ink pen, and it would transmit to this device.
This sounds familiar.
Yes, and you could you do your drawing on any paper you wanted with the ink pen, and then you could send those digitized drawings into your computer, so you could draw traditionally, but then you had everything.
Cool.
So they were like ahead of the curve on that way back.
They
they experimented. So going back to your love of art, has this been something that's been with you for a long time?
Oh man, my art history is pretty. I would say it's very rocky,
Yeah. I like hearing everybody's got their own like origin story when it comes to artwork. So I always love to ask.
It's weird. I feel like I'm 36. I just turned 36 last month, and I'm convinced it has just started.
Okay.
But no, I've been drawing since I was in first grade, since I could pick up a pencil. I originally wanted to fly planes. My uncle was in the Air Force.
Okay.
I wanted to do the same thing as him. And then right after, my eyesight got real bad, and I was like, well, I really like drawing planes, you know? And then I kind of just stuck it out, and then I found Spider-Man, and just exploded. I grew up on Todd McFarlane and Eric Larson's Spider-Man.
Awesome stuff, man.
And
You have that appreciation for that Larson run on Amazing Spider-Man, which is
it was so
vastly
sick.
Underappreciated, man.
It is.
Everybody talks about Todd on there, but Larson put
but he had to keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put out some of the best work of his career, in my opinion, that he did on that Amazing Spider-Man run. It was phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
It's like really just Larson going all out.
Yeah, and it's like, and they very clearly wanted to like keep a little bit of like the McFarlane energy, and like you can see it in there, but it's still so much his own thing. Like he was very clearly inspired by like Romita and stuff, so it's like it shows through so well. I loved his work, man. It was
he's the one that gave him the big tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
he's the one that gave him the big tongue. So that's kind of the Larson addition there, because if you look at McFarlane's stuff, he didn't give him the tongue.
Yeah, it was just the teeth. Yeah,
the big teeth. Yeah, the big shark teeth.
Yeah.
So you got your delving into comics with Spider-Man there, and you're looking at what I consider to be some of the most iconic stuff for, people probably from my generation and your generation really look to that stuff. I'm about, say over a decade older than you. So, but for me, it's the McFarlane and Larson and that era of guys that we're looking at there. So from there, where did that take you? Did you start exploring some other artists and some other comics?
Yeah. So I don't know how much of it, because all my brain remembers is Spider-Man. Like I was like, and I grew up in a really small town. It was like maybe 3.5 square miles. It was very small. So like art and art education was just kind of non-existent. I grew up right on the border of Louisiana and Mississippi, and to go to a bookstore and buy a comic, you actually had to cross the state line.
Oh, wow.
So we were crossing the state line, and just like we were buying, it was the 90s. So we were buying Pokemon cards and any Spider-Man and like Sonic the Hedgehog comic that we could get our hands on, and it just sort of blew up from there. Like I have a huge history in games. Obviously, I do production in fighting games occasionally, but I also play in them as well. But like, obviously games exploded. Like there was like the Neversoft Spider-Man games that kept a lot of that stuff going and exposed. I mean, to me personally, it exposed me to a lot of other stuff about the character, like Cosmic Spider-Man. Like I had no idea what that was, but like there was the costume in the game. But beyond that, strangely enough, I worked at GameStop right out of high school, and there was a employee that was right around the same level that we were working together. And lo and behold, I was like, I really like to draw. And he used to be a spot inker at Image for a little while. His name was Jeremy Clark.
Cool.
Yeah. And he now works, he does like covers and stuff. He does a lot of variant covers for like Batman, and he did a lot of stuff for Punchline. He did some Zenoscope stuff. Yeah. But we worked so much on getting comic book stuff off the ground, and this was probably like 2011, 2012. We were, like I had just moved out. I was maybe 22, and he's a couple years older than I am, so he's probably in between our age. He's probably like 40 now or so. Basically he was like just yanking me into stuff. He wanted to draw and make comics and like get his name out the door for inking, but like he didn't have a penciler.
Yeah.
And I like to pencil. I love pencils. So like it was kind of a match made in heaven there for a few years. So he was just like, I got commission work for us, and we would do a pinup, and then he would ink it. And then we had a colorist, George Cortez. He also does a lot of stuff at Zenoscope. And yeah. So we were passing stuff back and forth to him, and George is from Mexico, so he didn't speak English. So we're just like on Google Translate, trying to talk to him about this pinup, and we're like, "Hey, man, that little jewel needs to be red. Can you just change it?" And it was a blast. Yeah, but sad part of that is my health kind of took a turn.
Okay.
I have a lot of back problems. I have osteoarthritis.
Oh man, that's nasty stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And at like 22, just moved out. You're just trying to make ends meet, and I had to just put the pencil down.
Yeah.
Is the long and short of it is, like you get to a point to where you start thinking about work and life and
prioritization of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And penciling was already extremely hard in like 2010, 2012, especially for me with a bad back. So like we just kind of like fell out a little bit, and now he's working on Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, I kind of want a slice of that too, like I kind of want to do that. Yeah. And I had a turn with games and stuff recently where it kind of like slowed down, and I just was like, what do I want to do? And I was already doing commission work, and I do a lot of overlays and stuff for tournaments.
Okay.
Is really what I do. So I do a lot of graphic design stuff, and I was like, well, maybe I can like, I'm kind of doodling and stuff again. I'm doing digital art, and maybe I can like use this to kind of ease myself back into it during my physical therapy. And I don't know. Now full circle is like there's a guy that I play Marvel vs. Capcom with. His cousin was like, "Hey man, I just lost my illustrator on my comic. Like, I don't know what to do." And I'm like, I would like to work on a comic.
Moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very much an opportunist. I don't say no to any job.
Okay.
I don't care what it is. I'm well, less obviously. It's a little too extreme, but I'm very much a like, if as long as it's within the realms of my morals, I just do the job, because I just that's how you build portfolios and get stuff out there and experience things. So
you really have come full circle, and kind of in a sense, you do feel like you're just getting started, huh?
Yeah. It's weird. Like I obviously wanted to do it at a younger age and couldn't. And now like I'm married and my wife happily supports me, and she's like, I'm just gonna have to make some more money than you for a little bit. And like, I'm like, what if it's forever? And she's like, it's fine.
Having that support system, man, like it's invaluable. So that's really cool.
It really is.
That you're in a spot, where you have that support, and you're able to kind of, kind of rekindle some of those flames of that original dream.
Yeah. It's I think it's one of those things where like I couldn't escape it. Like I don't know. And I still I'm still trying to like, cause like, I don't think my art's that great. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't think it is, but
I think that's how we all are.
Right. Yeah. But my friend Dan just finished his first book, and like, I work with a lot of my friends in my circle these days they're all writers trying to like make their break. And like, I do short form comics with a buddy of mine, but he wants to write books, like that's his calling.
Like novels,
so like I'm like
that type of books.
Yeah. He wants to write like long form novels, and I'm like, hey man, why don't you just do why don't you write a little short story, and maybe I can adapt it to a comic, and but they're a huge inspiration for me. They definitely were like, just do it, man. Like, your art's good enough. Like, you'll fill in the gaps as you go. And man, doing sequentials again after not trying since 2011. Whoo!
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's everything has evolved so much. It's, art is definitely one of those degrading skill sets to where if you're not regularly doing it,
it's a muscle.
It's a muscle, and there's so much to sequential art that people don't even realize. Like, it's such a skill set in and of itself to be able to tell a story and to clearly tell a story. Like, you can try to tell a story, but it's the old, can we take all the dialogue off here and the person can look at it and tell you what's going on right away type of thing. It's a whole other level.
Yeah, and like the writer that I'm working with now, like he's super generous. Like he's paying for my art supplies and stuff. I don't think probably could be working with a better writer, but
That's awesome.
He like I'm going through pages and I'm pumping them out, and like lo and behold, he's like, something's not right about that one. There's something missing there, and it was one panel I forgot to draw. And that's all it took for the whole flow of the page.
Yep.
So you go back, add it in. He's like, all right, now it makes sense. And
yeah,
it's been a blast.
So he's almost kind of being an editor as well in that sense.
Yeah.
Like something's a little off here. What do we got missing, right? So now that you've gotten back into it, are you kind of feeling you're hitting your stride a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, I might be hitting it a little too hard, because like the first couple pages, I don't want to like toot bone horn or anything, but the first couple pages I thought were like kind of strong,
right?
And then like the third one, I'm like, man, something ain't right about this page. It's just not. I think I just crammed too much into it. It definitely should just be a double page spread, but like I'm more looking at it like I want to see the book mentally in my hands. Like I want to see it like left to right. I want to see this page lead to this page, and then you turn you know what I mean? Like you're still trying to guide the storytelling part of it. Yes. And I'm scared to go back and add anything in between now, but the characters on page 10 do not look the same as they do on like page 3. They look the same, but like one of them is very clearly drawn, like they've been drawn 100 times.
Yeah, they're on model, but you can tell there's been some improvement in the artwork.
Yeah. So now I'm like, well, I don't want to go back, and
bro, that's the struggle. Yeah, I know. My buddy Joshua Durstein, that's doing Amarok and all of that. He basically went back and redrew the whole thing, because he started it when he was like 16, and now he's 20, and he's phenomenally better, light years beyond where he was artistically. And he's looking back, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to redraw the whole thing.
And then all it takes, strangely enough, is just a few pages. You start going through it, and like luckily I'm working with a story it's only 2 characters. Okay. So I'm not doing anything crazy. It's a horror book. It's 2 characters and a monster. So like, but it's also only 2 characters. So if something's inconsistent, you're gonna notice immediately. So it's I'm dancing a little bit with it, but it's a really fun book so far. I'm really enjoying it.
So as far as artistic influences, we mentioned McFarlane and Larson and everything with the Spider-Man stuff. Who else are some people you really feel have had an impact on your approach to art? I'm sure you're going to have a big list.
It's such a huge list. I actually wrote it down.
Oh, there you go. You see, you had an idea I might ask you. Go see, you're more prepared.
I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody's names, like there's a lot.
You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I've had a few people on here. Oh, man, I wish I would have known you were going to ask me that, because now I feel bad. I can't think of enough of them.
But there is so many, right? And like I'm learning too, because like my thing is that I do like penciling, but I'm in love with comics so much, and I also understand that like with my back, I'm doing great right now with the writer that I'm working with, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to like pump out 30 pages in a month. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I could learn color. Maybe I could pump out 30 colored pages in a month, and maybe it's 2025. Nobody's really looking for an inker, but like I could do that if the opportunity arose.
Diversification, right? Like have that. Don't be so locked into one thing. Have something that you could switch to if needed, right? And then even if you don't need to, you still form that skill set.
Exactly. But that said, this list is just pencilers, but like my brain recently is just like, okay, well, who else do I need to try and learn from that's inking right now? Who's coloring right now? Like who's just inking themselves, But
or who's just doing pencils that are they're being coloring colored, and everything's tight enough that they don't really care.
speaking of Netho Diaz on X-Men right now, some of those pages are just colored.
Yeah,
they're gorgeous. I'm just now understanding that you could draw tight enough pencils to just be colored. You know,
especially,
like I didn't even.
Especially with digital tools too.
Yeah.
I think Netho does a lot of his stuff traditionally still, but like if you look at Pepe Larraz's stuff on the new Amazing Spider-Man and you zoom in on that, a lot of that's pencil too.
Yeah.
It's just pencil with
and it's
color
gorgeous.
Directly. It's super gorgeous.
I'm reading that book right now, like because that book is that gorgeous. And I think that's probably where like I knew something like had to happen with comics with me, is that like I struggle to turn the page. I really do.
Yeah.
Like I like, and I don't care if it's like your anatomy's wrong or whatever. Like I'm just enamored by the fact that you managed to capture that and then tell that story. And because like we're illusionists, right? That's really what we're doing. We're trying 100%. To like tell a story. Yeah. And carry that through. But yeah, sorry, back to your question.
No, you're good. Yeah, so you got a master list there that you made of
I do.
Of pencilers. Pencilers. We'll keep it in the category of pencilers.
Right.
Who you got for me?
Brett Booth, Mark Silvestri, obviously Todd. I mentioned Larson and David Finch are probably the biggest for me.
Yeah.
As far as like old artists, and like Frank Frazetta. But more like the newer end, I'm a huge fan of Matteo Scalera. He's working on like Nemesis and stuff right now.
Awesome
his work
stuff.
is gorgeous.
Very gorgeous.
And Eric Canetti. I'm obsessed with his work too. I found out recently the game that I played professionally, Killer Instinct. He did all the character designs in the game.
Nice. So I remember that he had done some character designs for game stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great list, man. That's a great list. Yeah, there's some iconic people on there. It's hard because we have so many legendary artists, and then now it's like with social media, we're exposed to. I'm discovering a new artist like every few days. I feel like that just pops up on my Instagram. It's like suggested follow, and I'm like, how have I never heard of this person, and how am I not already following them? Or like,
right,
where have they been, right? Like you would think like some of them you look at, and I have repeated this on numerous different interviews, but it's like, how are they not working on some big project? Like, how have we not seen them?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah,
maybe it's just that oversaturation of talent. Like there are so many great people out there.
I don't know. I think it's just about finding the book that's for you, and like, I think it's less that there is oversaturation of the market. I think it's more that it's harder to find us. Honestly, like algorithms are kind of against us. We're constantly trying to like fight that stuff, and like, luckily I have a little bit of a production background and I've worked with some social media aspects of things. So like I kind of get it, but I'm also trying to move away from professional fighting games, if that's really what you want,
right?
What category you would put that in. But like it's just hard, I mean, the world's crazy right now too. So we're all trying to just like make our way through the nonsense. And
right. Yeah, with art, I think it's one of these things too. Like as long as the creator is having fun and they're passionate about what they're doing, like you don't have to be working for Marvel or DC to have a career in comics anymore. There's so many different avenues for people to create, and indie books are still going strong. You got a lot of people really leveraging the crowdfunding and putting out great books through that. So I feel like if you have the ingenuity or the drive, you can find a place that's suitable for yourself in doing what you love in comics, right? Yeah,
absolutely. And like, it's like I said too, I think it's one of those things where like, you sometimes you want to work in some field so bad you want to put yourself in a box, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is make sure that like if something doesn't work out, I can still color.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's just about being flexible right now, and trying to see what we can do to make stuff happen, and also lift people up. Like I think
absolutely.
Luckily, I don't really see this a whole lot within the art, or I'm sorry, the comics community. But like I've seen other artists in other communities where like they see each other as competition. And
yeah.
And
it exists everywhere. It's just I feel like in comics, it's especially over on X. One thing I noticed was when I wasn't seeing a lot of that community kind of supporting and propping each other up on Instagram, and it might just be the nature of Instagram, like the interactivity, like the level of interactivity between artists and aspiring artists on X really stood out to me when I created the podcast account over there and got on there. I'm like, oh, there's constantly artists resharing each other's work. There's even pros on there jumping on and saying, oh, good job, or somebody asking for a critique on their work and them actually giving them one on there. And so I think that's Brett Booth does that. Like, yeah, he's somebody I'd really like to get on here, because I'm a huge OG back in the day, from yesteryear to today. I'm still a Brett Booth fan. I remember all his Backlash and Kindred stuff for Image and all of that. So, but yeah, feel like the community, like you're saying, is for the most part overwhelmingly supportive. Like anything, you're going to have your bad apples in there and your people that,
of course,
try to knock somebody down a peg or two. But for the most part, it's very encouraging to see.
Yeah, it's really sick. And like even just in the last few months, when I'm like, all right, I have permission, I can start sharing some panels and stuff, and like I'm not doing anything other than making sure I post some panel on Friday. And lo and behold, there's more people like sharing and liking the panels and stuff from other like comic publishing, like small publishers and stuff, any comic publishers and artists and stuff. It's really sick. I'm really enjoying the growth so far.
So you're sharing panels, and you probably got to be secretive about some things, but what can you say about the current project you're working on?
So I'm not 100% sure. Okay. I know I could probably, I have some pages I was actually considering like showing you if you want to see.
I would love to. Yeah, we got to leverage the fact that we're doing this on video for YouTube as well. Yeah, show off some cool stuff.
Okay. So I had some pages that they're probably going to change.
Okay.
But this is a couple pages. This is one I just finished yesterday. I'm a big fan of this one. I like this one a lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's pure dialogue.
I saw some of I remember the face in the bottom right. I think you posted that panel not too long ago.
It might have been a different face. I literally drew this yesterday.
Oh, okay. No, it was a different one. Same character though, I believe.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm only working with two characters. So this is one also I'm trying to distract with this one. Hopefully nobody notices my perspective isn't, I think, right. Again, this is all blue line. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah. Nice. So I'm also playing around with like some screen tones and stuff I'm gonna put underneath the burners and stuff. And
very cool.
But yeah, these are some full pages.
You're gonna be inking yourself as well on this?
Yeah. I'm gonna so again, I'll probably change the panels a little bit on physical paper. Right. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna transfer all of these onto Bristol board, and then I'm gonna probably change some stuff around. There's a couple panels I just straight up just don't like. I'll probably just redraw them. And then I'm gonna ink it all on paper. All the pages will be for sale. It'll be sort of like this weird Mod Podge of.
It's smart. It's smart, man. You got to have that original to be able to sell.
Yeah, I think so too. I also like, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just because it's permanent, but like ink, I just knock it out a lot faster on.
See, on paper. You're the opposite of a lot of people. A lot of people get that trepidation about, how final the ink feels, and they let that hold them back, from inking.
Yeah.
I've been that way for a long time. I've just now started to push outside of that and be like, no, you gotta do it. You could correct it if you need to. It's not permanent. Like, don't be too scared here, because it's really not permanent if you think about it. It's
right.
Just like,
it's really not. It's really not. I had a project I just finished, where I drew a fairy on a flower, like on a big daisy, and the fairy's face was like literally thumbnail sized.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I have a chrome quill small enough to hit the stroke that I'm trying to stroke. So I straight up inked just the face digitally, and then printed that on Bristol board.
Smart.
And then inked the rest of it, and then painted that.
There we go. Leveraging the tool set, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was racking my brain for like 3 days, and I woke up at 3 a.m., just shot straight up, and was like, oh my God, I could just do it digitally. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, people want to be, people get a little, some traditionalists get a little salty about the use of digital tools, but really it's just whatever helps you in your production, streamlining your production and being able to problem solve and get things done. Like, I think especially if, let's say you were somebody on a deadline on a monthly book, like, you can't be like, oh, I gotta stick to it's like, no, the deadline is tomorrow. It's got to be done. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming there's no changes,
Assuming there's no changes, right? It's like, you got to get it done and move forward. So I think digital can be utilized as a great tool set. I just had, I'm not sure if you listened to it, but a couple of weeks ago I had Thomas Nalick on, who's the artist on the Salmon Twitch case files for McFarlane and everything. And he does a lot of stuff in 3D that he goes in and integrates into his layouts and everything. And talked about how it kind of allows him to work quicker. And like, obviously he could sit down and draw all that traditionally and map everything out, but just that process, right? The production of being on a deadline.
And that's kind of what's the beauty of it. It's also kind of the complexity of it too, is that like it's like you said, it is still a tool.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna be real. I have Clip Studio Paint. I've been working on Clip Studio Paint for a few years now, but like, operating the 3D functions of it is just
crazy.
Beyond me. I will literally, like, because I don't understand the ruler system in the program, I'll just lay a ruler on top of the screen.
Yep.
Because it's faster, like it's just kind of.
Yeah, it is confusing. The way I think it's so complex. Like, the ability to be able to do so many different things with it can kind of make it daunting. Like, Clip Studio is like, there's buried feature upon buried feature in that thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, it's literally the most comprehensive, app for comic creation. Like, it can literally do anything you can think of, but sometimes it becomes so overwhelming. I think it's the whole
it's easy to get lost in the sauce.
It's the paralyzation by overanalyzation. Like, it's giving me 12 different ways I can do this same thing. Which one should I pick?
Yeah. I realized the other day I like colored a piece completely differently than I did the previous one, and I was like, it came out the same, but it, like, why did I do it like that? What possessed me? It's like I understood the program enough for it to happen, but it didn't need to happen that way,
Yeah. So have you had published works in the past? Like, before this new wave of stuff, did you do some indie stuff in the past when you were back, kind of first getting into the comic art scene and everything? Did you do some stuff with friends or anything like that?
No, actually. I worked with Clark on a few pieces, and we did just pinups. Really, it was just commissions.
Gotcha.
Stuff to add to our portfolio. But I started work on a book, and I sort of had my foot in the door, right? I was just working on my panels and stuff, and then my health dipped, and I was like, I can't work on this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was like, yeah, I got right at the cusp. Yeah, and I was like, let me just come back to this. But no, the only thing I've really published in the last few years has just been, I did just recently hop on an anthology series that I worked on. It's like a little short comic. It was like a 4-page comic.
Yeah.
That I did with a buddy of mine, and I was strictly trying to show him how easy it was to get published. And he was like, no, there's no way, we can't do it. And when you start putting up barriers,
Totally.
And I was just like, look how easy it is. And just included us into a little anthology series. But no, after that, this will be my first one. I'm now gathering all of the stuff that we had done before and redrawing some pages so that we can have our own anthology series. And I'm working on this book, and as we all are, we're all kind of doing our own projects. So I have a comic I would like to do for myself at some point too.
Yeah, I figured most creative artists I have on here have that idea in the back of their brain that they want to get out eventually.
It's hard not to.
Now, is the comic you're working on now, is this already something that's under a publisher, or is this something you guys are planning on kickstarting, or what's going to be the avenue for people to be able to get a hold of this book once it's done?
So, as far as I know, we are self-publishing. I think he wants to play around with the idea of using Kickstarter. He seems pretty confident that he can just print the amount that we need, but he's also sort of new to the writing scene, so I don't know. I really don't know. As far as I know, you'll be able to buy books directly from me, which nice. I do have all of. I need to publish some more physical pieces of art, but I do have prints and stuff you can get directly through me. I have my own website and stuff, and
nice.
The anthology book is up there. You can buy one of those as well. Some of them are in this little comic book box over here.
Awesome.
It's ready to be shipped.
Yeah,
it's getting there though.
It sounds like you're cranking along on it at a pretty good pace. You said you got 10 thumbnails that you just cranked out. You got 10 thumbnails. This current story, how many pages is it? Is it going to be like a one shot? Is it going to be a separate? Okay.
I think it's going to be a thick one shot. I don't think it's going to be like full graphic novel. I don't think it's going to be like 4 or 5 issues or anything like that. It seems pretty. It has kind of an indeterminate ending at the moment, so it may end up being longer. But I'm looking at probably around 30 to 40 pages right now.
All right.
And I've been at it for a couple months, so I'm getting there. I'm chugging along.
Yeah. You're probably hitting your stride and kind of finding your rhythm a little bit and getting to. Like from what I've heard from other artists, you got to kind of get the feel for the characters and everything, and get into that groove, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the only thing that's really slowing me down is the lack of sequential practice, and I say that because like today I really need to draw 2 dudes sitting on a couch. But I've never drawn 2 dudes sitting on a couch, so you know what I mean. It's a lot of it's a lot of reference material,
a lot of reference,
a lot of acting out on the couch and seeing how people sit and how I want them both to interact with each other, and
this is the thing with
keeping
comics.
Consistent panels. Yeah.
This thing with comics, like I've talked about this before on here, everybody wants to be able to draw the cool pinup of the superhero flying through the sky or the guy punching through the brick wall. But if you're gonna draw sequential art, you got to literally figure out how to draw anything that's required for the story that you're doing.
We're drawing coffee tables,
including
lamps.
2 dudes sitting on the couch talking.
Yep. But it's problem solving at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And like, it's sort of a weird comparison, but like fighting games are kind of the same way. Right. So like for me, this was like a weirdly natural transition mentally to go back after doing stuff like that, because like fighting games is just playing chess at a very high pace.
Yeah.
So you're making a lot of decisions. And then I found out that I can like sit down and think about my decisions very deeply and, like then put it out on the page. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty sick. But it's, I make the comparison because like fighting games, you're never the dude. You have to always, you have to always evolve and like learn. And there's like, it's a never ending supply of knowledge. And art's kind of the same way. Like you're never him. Like you're never the guy. You have to always be learning and improving, and I don't know. That's been probably my favorite part because like today I don't know how to draw two dudes sitting on the couch, but tomorrow I will.
Yep. And the next time it comes up in a future story, you're gonna like, oh, pull it from the memory banks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. It definitely keeps it fresh. Like there's always going to be something you're having to kind of stretch stretch outside of the boundaries of your current skill set and evolve. So I think that's what keeps me coming back is like drawing just seems like this never ending learning process and especially just like human anatomy is so complex. Like, and being able to draw that from every angle and have it be
it's hard
close to correct is pretty hard. But we are in an age where we can leverage a lot of tools. Like you could get on Pinterest and pull up a bunch of references. You can even get apps on your phone or your iPad that are 3D models you can pose and set up the camera angle and use that to help you. So
you can do it in Clip Studio directly now too.
Yep. Or you can be like Alex Ross and get friends to pose for, get the elaborate costumes made and photograph people. And like, there's definitely more access to basically having the means to get reference for anything that you are struggling with. And I think, wouldn't you say that people need to know that's okay? Like artists need to know that's okay.
Oh my God. Absolutely. I think it's important. I think it's required, like I don't know how you get better without, comparing it to something. And I have like a small group that like I've gathered from streaming, and they're like, they all want to learn art and stuff. And they're all trying to draw their favorite fighting game characters now, but they want to skip some of the fundamentals and they just want to just copy it without. And I'm like, if you want to do that, why don't you just try tracing it? Why don't, like, you're not selling it for anything. You're not trying to sell it as your own, like just so that you understand the forms a little bit and how they're connected and they won't touch it. They're so scared of the misconception. I'm like, it's just practice. It's okay.
There's a video on YouTube of Neil Adams tracing something and talking about the benefit of tracing and it accomplishing the thing you were just talking about helping you understand the forms and everything else, and telling people not to think that's a bad thing. Like this is another tool for,
even Jim Lee.
Yeah.
I've seen him say brain, that he'll trace for sequentials to meet deadlines.
Yeah. Yeah. And all artists have done that at one point or the other, especially artists on deadlines. Those deadlines can be pretty crazy. I've heard of some marathon, the groups getting together and finishing like 20 pages in a weekend. Insane sounding crazy stuff.
Was it Jack Kirby said he would do like 15 a day or something like that? That's insane.
Jack Kirby was just operating in another dimension though.
He was a monster. He saw somewhere else and saw all the comics happen, and then he would put it on the page.
Yeah, I think he conceived it in his mind, and then he could essentially project it onto the page. Similar to like Kim Jong-gi. He had such a vast visual library in his brain, and he could essentially just project that onto whatever he was drawing on.
Yeah, you could tell that like he just had drawn basically from the moment he could pick up a pencil and never stopped. Like you could just see it in his work. It's beautiful.
Definitely. Well, as we taper down to the end here, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote anything you want to promote, man. You got, obviously, this thing you're working on is kind of secret, but what do we got cooking? You got your own personal project that you might be starting at some point that people should be on the lookout for. What else? What about commissions and those kind of things? Are you taking commissions right now?
I am, yeah. I would love to work on some more comic commissions. I've done a lot of fighting game characters in the last few years, so if anybody wants to hit me up, I would love to do that. I do stream on Mondays, not every Monday, but for the most part, I do strictly art these days.
Okay.
I just finished some emote that I set up for my actual like Twitch page, but I'm thinking I'm gonna instead use that time a couple hours a week to work on my own comic and maybe stream the process. I don't know how I'm gonna do thumbnails live, but I think I'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's ways. You should be able to, depending on what you're doing, you should be able to screen share your device.
No. That's not. I'm more like I'm such a think tank person when I'm doing thumbnails. Yeah, I don't know how to like.
You mean as far as still interacting with people while you're doing that?
Yeah. I'm like walking around, like closing my eyes, like trying to figure stuff out. I gotta visualize a lot when I'm doing thumbnails.
As somebody who loves learning people's processes, I would be all for watching that.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't care if you weren't interacting with the chat and you were having to think but I'm getting to see you go through that process. You know, that's cool because there's a lot of different ways to accomplish things, and it's good for people to see that there's not a way, there's many ways. There's many ways, and this is just a way to do something. You might come up with your own way to do it as well, but this is Tyler's process for thumbnails. This is David Finch's process. Like everybody's going to be different and unique in their own right. So I think that's important because people get too caught up in you have to do it this way.
They do, absolutely.
Well, no, that's not true.
yeah. I mean, like even like I think about adding things to your kit. Like when you're building your library of like hatch knowledge and where to place it and how you want to add your shadows. It's just like you don't need to do one of those things. You can do all of those things.
Exactly. Well, Tyler, I've had an awesome time chatting with you, and I would love to have you back on when you're able to share some more information about the project, and we get a kind of a timeline for when it's coming out and where people can get it and all that stuff. And that segues right into your opportunity here at the end to let everybody know where they should be keeping track of you online so they can keep up to date with all the recent stuff that you're doing and all that type of information as it breaks.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. I'm on X. I'm on Instagram as well. I think it's just VenomBuster art on Instagram, but it should be just basically just VenomBuster everywhere.
Perfect.
I kind of slowed down on doing my YouTube content just because I'm doing a lot of NDA stuff. But there's some time lapses over there. There are streams on Mondays if you want to come check it out. And I usually am just jamming to video game music and drawing. So,
very cool.
I'm kind of everywhere.
You said you have a website too, right?
Yes, it is literally just artbyvenombuster.com.
Perfect. And I'm going to make sure to link everything up in the description so everybody will be able to find you nice and easy. hang out with me for a moment. I'm going to let everybody know what they should do. If they're listening, that means they already found us, so I don't have to cover out where to find us. But I would appreciate if you're enjoying the podcast, give a like, a follow, a share it with a friend. You can listen to us on any audio podcast platform. I always encourage watching the YouTube version when you can, because awesome artists like Tyler share their artwork on here, and we get to see a sneak peek behind the scenes. And in the meantime, everybody, keep it nerdy.